Hey guys, welcome to the table. Today we're doing a mod that I've been kind of mulling around for a little while, wanting to do. So today we're going to see how it turns out. One of the biggest problems with Airsoft is protection, whether it's eye protection, face protection. And one of the ways that a lot of players have overcome that is by going with this cheap mesh mask. And I say cheap because they're only 12 to 15 bucks, but they work great. They're simple mesh lined with this nylon, and a couple of players have modified them. You know, they painted them up. One thing that I did was line the inside with foam, not entirely, so I still get that ventilation and avoid fogging. But just along the edges here, and it holds it off my face, and I feel like it's more comfortable and the ventilation is even better. The mod that I wanted to do today fixes one of the problems that I found with this mask, and that is cheek weld. If we look on this side, we see that the mask goes along your jawline here, which offers good protection, but it's kind of difficult to get really low and get a good cheek weld. So what I'm planning on doing is, and I've already started, cutting out this section where your jawbone is, so that I can get a better cheek weld. And I haven't decided if I'm going to line this and just leave this bare, or if I'm going to chop up an old dump pouch that I had and use that for kind of a little curtain there of protection. We'll see. So I'll keep you updated. So far, that's our progress. And we're back. We're talking about metal mesh masks today, and a modification for those of you out there that find that a mask is a little bit uncomfortable and also doesn't let you get the cheek weld that you wanted. We're going to be talking about what we can do about that. Firstly, what I did is gathered up some supplies, and you'll need some scissors, lighter if you don't have a good glue gun, some Pro Strength glue. You grab that at Walmart. I always have an X-Acto knife for that quick cutting that you'll need to do, and also some iPro, in addition to a Dremel. If you don't have a Dremel, definitely get one. You'll find a use for a Dremel in almost any setting. So what we did was cut away this liner on the outside of the mesh mask with a little bit of a cut there and on the other side, and we just peeled it off for a little opening for the Dremel tool to get in there. Then we just got a cutting tool and just cut along here. Now normally the mesh mask will go around about like this, and that's exactly where you need to be cheek welding on your platforms. So this is what we took out on both sides. Now if you're just going to shoot off your right side, obviously you can just take off the one side. I like to practice shooting off both shoulders, so I took both sides off. And then after you remove that, make sure that you've got your iPro on while you're doing that, because you're going to have a lot of metallic dust and a lot of stuff shooting all over the place. Make sure that your edges are clipped down. If you need to, get some clippers or some pliers, bend them down. Make sure they're nothing poking out too bad. Then get some nylon, and I actually cut these off of an old chest rig that I had, and just line it up. Make sure you get a strip that's actually longer than what you're going to need, because as you bend and lay this flat, you're going to take up more space than you thought you might need. Once that is on there, you're going to get some hot glue. And I actually, instead of a hot glue gun, which don't burn hot enough, recommend using a lighter and light the tip of that stick, get it real hot, spread it on there, and then press down real hard on that nylon. Make sure that it's all flat. You're going to have some wrinkles and bumps, but take care of that in a minute. And once you get that all flattened down, you'll have some stray material, some string popping out from the nylon. What you're going to do is take your lighter and you're just gonna go along that nylon, and it's going to melt everything down, and everything's going to become really compact, very flush, cleans up the look quite a bit, and actually makes it a little bit stronger as well as protective. Nylon, when this is soft, it's actually going to allow this material, this mesh, to still poke through. So if you harden it with heat, then it's going to keep that away from your face. The goal with this was to maintain protection for your teeth, proper ventilation to avoid fogging, basically take all of the aspects that make this mesh mask great and make it even better. We actually took, and I've had these on there for a long time, kept that foam that I hot glued onto the back of the mask, kept that on there so that it's still propped up off of my face, makes it a little bit more comfortable. Feel free to do that. Just don't block your vent. Make sure you're still getting your air through there. And then as you're cutting, another tip, make sure that you're trying the mask on as you're cutting. Go slow and work at it carefully so you get the right cheek weld. This isn't going to help you at all, and all you're doing is sacrificing your cheek. If you're not measuring your cheek weld right, you're going to end up with a mangled mask, and you're still not going to have the advantage you were looking for. So work carefully, go slow, and when you're done, make sure you clean up your desk with a wet cloth, wet paper towel. Get all of that metallic dust off there, and make sure you're keeping your eye pro on.